Hey everyone, here we are for Season 2, Week 5 of the Oval Fixed Hot Lap Analysis. We'll be heading to Richmond and iRacing Superspeedway this week. A fix will be going to Richmond, B fix will be going to iRacing Superspeedway, and C fix will be going to Richmond. Hopefully this will help you guys out, and if it does, consider my coaching program. I'll have more info down in the description below if you are interested. There will be a Google form you can fill out, and enjoy the video. Alright, here we are at Richmond, C fixed. Daytime, which is good. I like that as well. I'm going to be using a 12:1 steering ratio, default brake bias, 0 offset. I ran a 1:00 here. I can kind of debrief it real quick, but it was a bit of a messy lap. But to be fast here, you're definitely going to want to be a little more aggressive. So if we take a look here. I got on the throttle pretty early and kind of just tried to wheel it off the corner because it's just a little bit loose off the corner, and if you're going to want to be fast, then you're going to have to do that on a hot lap especially. Maybe not in the race because it'll kill your tires. 3 and 4 here was pretty good, but braking marker entering turn 1. Usually this light, kind of right before this light, I usually try and aim a little bit before these dashed lines as well. I kind of have this weird breaking point. It's kind of this line right here if you could see it, but you could also use the light up here. About 35% brake. Try and get it down to the bottom the best you can here. Sort of diamond, back down. I didn't even hit the bottom that perfect on this lap. 3 and 4 here. Way after these dashed lines. Maybe this third one, around this third one, I start braking. And then you don't want to take a really wide arc. You want to get it down to the bottom as fast as you can. And then once the car plants, like right here, I can see that the car is going to start turning here because I let it roll. Get onto the throttle slowly. Stay on this yellow line right here. Just kind of wheel it off. And then let's go to this lap. This is a little bit smoother. I'll take a look at this one real quick. This one was a little bit messy as well. 231. Again, kind of near this light right here. Roll onto the throttle slowly as you want. Yeah, it's still about the third dashed line, somewhere around the 2. And then once you start braking, you're going to want to start turning in. Let it roll, back onto the throttle slowly, stay on that yellow line, and back up to the line here. Both ends, you're just going to want to start turning in once you start braking. Obviously, you don't want to be way down here at the yellow line where this where the orange cone would go. It would just shoot you up the track in the center. So that's the apex for that one. second apex, but you're definitely going to want to drive it in hard enough to where the car slides up just a little bit in the center, so you can carry that momentum, and then bring it back down and carry that speed off. You definitely don't want to hug the yellow line the whole corner, especially in 1 and 2. In 3 and 4, it's a little bit different. You're going to want to arc it in to that yellow line, hug it, get onto the throttle once the car plants, and then roll up off. And that's a lap at Richmond for C fixed. This will probably have a lot of cautions throughout the week as well. So if it does stay green, try and keep your tires on it. Don't slide the rears a bunch, and you'll be in good shape. But expect a lot of cautions for sure. And like I said before, if you're gonna want to be fast, you're gonna have to be aggressive. And I think the biggest tip that I like to give out is go in a practice session, open up your tab bar where it shows your session best lap time or all-time best lap time, and compare to that. Try different things. Try driving it in deeper, try getting onto the throttle sooner, and eventually you'll find your comfort zone where you're fastest for a hot lap. And then if you can consistently hit that throughout a run, that line, then you'll be in really great shape. Alright, here we are at iRacing Superspeedway for B fixed. It's pretty simple, honestly. I usually use 12 to 1 on Superspeedways. Personally, Daytona, Talladega. I haven't really run this track. We've got our All-Star race coming up in a couple months, so it's a good thing kind of learning here. But let's take a look at this first lap here. This first lap, I'm kind of running a lane off the wall, just because I don't want it to slow me down with the wall aero effects that iRacing added recently. So running about half a lane off the wall, and then come to the start finish, that as well. And then you're gonna want the car to start drifting down slightly here. So start pointing the wheel down, and right here, if you can smoothly put your wheel down and get it to that yellow line quickly, then that would be great. Even I messed up the entry just a little bit here. Kind of twitched up the track a little bit, but then I got it brought back down, almost at the apron. But try and keep the wheel as steady as possible down here on the yellow line. Let the car drift up. Don't force the issue. Don't force the car to stay down here on the yellow line. Drifted about to the second lane right here. Let it drift up just a little bit, entering the corner here, then let it drift back down right before the entry, and then just about quarter of a car width right before that seam begins. Get it down to that yellow line, smooth on the input, right back up, second lane, and then come to the checkered flag here. I let the car drift down slightly just to gain that little bit of momentum. Thousands, hundreds, and don't hit the apron once again. Most people don't qualify for these races. They usually want to start in the back. So anytime, I think, will get you a top 5 starting spot. So that's stall preference, I guess. But I ran a 2:35 as my PB. I don't think I'm going to be running any races this week here. um, but y'all have fun with this. Maybe I should actually maybe run a race or two just to get some practice in for the All-Star race we have coming up. But hope this helped you guys out if you are qualifying in any races this week. All right, here we are for A fixed at Richmond. Daytime once again, same as C fixed. I'm going to be using a 12-to-1 steering box with 2 offset default brake bias. It's already in it at 65. Put a pretty decent lap together here. So let's go ahead and take a look. So entering turn 1. Again, I'm kind of looking at these dashed lines in the light, and it's way, my braking point is way before where I was braking in the truck. So I don't really have a braking point, I suppose. I think roughly where this begins, this little streak right here, this tire streak, is a pretty good point. I think that's what I'm looking at. I guess it goes all the way around. Here we go. This NASCAR logo right here. That's a really good braking point. I don't look at it personally. I kind of just look at the track. I'm weird about my braking points, but roughly braking right around there, the red square before it. Hard on the brakes, about 45%. Get it down to this first apex right here, right after where that orange cone would go. Get it down to the bottom, let it drift up just slightly on the brakes still. Let it roll just for a second, just to get the car planted, and then back onto the gas once the car plants. Bring it back down to the yellow line, and then try and be aggressive off the corner. Then notice how I'm not full throttle until my wheel is almost completely straight, where I'm off that kind of transition, exiting turn 1. Then you're going to want to be way off the wall here. Not way off the wall, but quite a bit once you start braking, just to get that turn in. You don't want to come out way out here and arc it in. You want a pretty straight entry. That's the key to braking here at Richmond. You want a very straight entry, just like at Martinsville, and then to diamond it up off the corner and then bring it back down. Entering turn 3 here. Just that second or that first dashed line is where you're going to want to start braking. You could say this first red box as well, whichever you prefer. Again, I look at kind of like the track. And then this, you want a straight entry as well, but you want to get it to this yellow line here. You don't really want to diamond it. I did a little bit there. It's mainly preference. Some people do arc it in a little bit more and hug the yellow line off a little bit better. But I like to drive it in straight at these short tracks, get it slowed down, a little bit less brake than turn 1. Then get onto the throttle pretty quick just to try and get it to turn, but not full throttle, obviously, or else you're just going to spin out the car. And it's pretty tough here because if you drive it in deep like I did, it'll slide up in the center, and then you kind of want to get on the throttle hard to get the car to turn, and it'll get a little bit loose on you, like right there. But slowly roll into the throttle and notice how I'm not full throttle until until my wheel is just about straight. And then the out lap as well, I forget to point out, you're going to want to run this third groove to get a run out of the corner, bring it down to the middle. That'll help you a lot enter turn 1 as well. And that's a lap at Richmond in a fixed. Key points to this one, I think the same thing as C fixed. Try not to spin the tires too much off the corner. Be really consistent. Try not to really mess up your corners every time. Keep that tab bar open during your hot laps. Try different braking points. Try different throttle points just to get comfortable. And just stay out of trouble, and yeah, just try and hit your line consistently, and that's where you're gonna be fastest, if you're gonna be one of those ones that can hit their line the most consistent. Thanks again for everyone that watched this week. Again, like I mentioned in the intro, if this helped any of you, consider my coaching program. There will be more info down in the description below. It starts out at $40 an hour. Make sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube here, as well as follow our social medias on Twitter and Instagram, which is at Logan Clampitt _ and at WB Esports. Thanks again, and see you guys next week.